Meet incredible women transforming challenges into success and redefining empowerment.
Who are rewriting the rules, shattering expectations, and refusing to fade into the background. Empowered women say no to being defined by their challenges in a world that tries to silence and sideline them. She Roars Boldly celebrates the remarkable journeys of women who have transformed their struggles into stepping stones to success. So grab your coffee or tea, settle in, and get ready to be inspired and fired up. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Debra and She Roars Boldly. And I'm doing another week because I just want to talk about my gratitude to everybody out there across the world. Over the last few weeks, we have just grown in people across the world listening to us. We now are at 1,200 downloads. We have 54 countries that are listening, and I just thank all of you out there from everywhere. We're global now with, we have Vietnam, United States, England, India, Colombia, Argentina, Iraq, and many others. It's just been amazing, the growth that we've had, and I want to continue that. And I'm glad that women empowerment is strong across the world. Of course, when I started this, we have had speakers from Australia, from Morocco, from Ireland, from Puerto Rico. We have had many different speakers on here, and I want to continue that. It's not just a US base. And remember what the mission of this is to empower women by women telling their stories and sharing their products and the things that they do. And of course, you are always welcome at sheroars.live, sheroars.live, to sign up for a 20-minute. It'll be in the call notes, so you're welcome to click on that and sign up for a 20-minute with me if you are interested in being a part of this global outreach that we have to women across the world. It's a powerful thing to be able to share your story with others and to encourage them. It builds you up and it builds them up. And it's so important that we have this kind of woman voice. Well, I'm going to do another episode here because I feel we still need to have more conversation on this. So let me ask you something right now. I want you to brainstorm in your own head. Let me ask you, have you ever been in a room, a meeting, a conversation, or an opportunity, and you did speak? Not hesitate like we usually talk about, but you did speak, but somehow you still weren't heard. Not ignored, but you felt like you were overlooked, that what you had to say was not resounding with the people around you. We've talked about waiting and not hesitating. We've talked about owning our voice. But now let's talk about something. Let's dive just a little bit deeper, because there's another level to all this. Some of you are no longer waiting. You're showing up, you're speaking, but you're still not being seen as who you are, seen as the leader you are, seen as the person you are. So we're going to talk at this from a leadership angle, and hopefully you can gather some other things that personally resound and work for you. Because leadership is not just about speaking. It's about how you show up when you speak. Two people can say the same thing. I think you've seen this in your own life, right? They can say the exact same thing, and one person gets heard and one gets overlooked. I've been in that situation. There was a time in my life when, particularly in conversations, I always felt like if there was three of us here, that somehow two people end up talking and I was just standing there because I didn't know how to own my own voice. I didn't know how to talk powerfully. I didn't know how to also listen, because listening to what is happening and being able to say something relevant during those conversations is really, really important. So listening is a technique that is so, so important. Before you speak, you need to listen and make sure that what you're going to say has something to do with what's going on in the conversation. I want to give you this something new today. I want to talk about 3 signals of leadership presence. The first is clarity signal. This is where leaders don't talk more. We don't say more as people. We talk clearer. It's not about the amount of talking that counts. It is more important about what we're saying. We talk clearer, and people will start to trust us more and ask us questions and move us forward. The second thing we're going to talk about is the confidence signal. It's not about feeling confident. We have talked about this over and over again. It's about sounding certain. You may even be confident and not have that certain strongness that you need in what you're saying. Some doubt may be coming through that you don't even realize you have, because you're probably still figuring it out. And that's perfectly normal. The command signal is our third. And that is where your voice changes the room. It doesn't mean we speak louder, but it does mean that we're very grounded in what we're saying, that we speak with authority, that we have confidence, even when there's uncertainty. There is always going to be uncertainties in conversations, speeches, and boardroom presentations. That is not going to change. And we've talked a lot about how to get past that uncertainty and speak anyway, give ourselves permission. We see it all the time. Someone has a great idea, a brilliant idea, but for some reason they soften it. And for women, particularly, this is one of our problems. I don't know if it's because we don't feel that we have the presence in the room that we need, but for whatever reason, we tend to soften what we say. We need to stop that. We need to be bolder in what we believe and what we say. I'm trying to think of that saying that you say about, if you're going to make a mistake, make it bold. You can always say you're sorry. You know, you may be right. You may be not right. You may be not unsure in that moment, but if we don't speak with confidence, we'll start to disappear. I'm seeing, like I said, across the world now, and I traveled to a lot of different countries. I just got back from the Philippines. I'm going to London in a week or two. It's coming up soon, and I'm going to be in other countries this year, and different countries and different cultures. But we see the same kind of pattern. We see people that they don't lack ideas. What they lack is trained ability to deliver them with strength, certainty, and authority. So let's go back here and talk about confidence. How do we gain confidence? Well, you don't wait till you have confidence. You actually gain confidence when you start speaking anyway, when you start sharing your ideas anyway. You may want to start in just conversations, strategic conversations, and everyday conversations. Try sharing your ideas with someone that you're close to, that you don't feel threatened with. And that's a great way to start gaining confidence. And then maybe try if you're working in your boardroom. Maybe try if you're at an event, try talking to people and start sharing it. Not hesitatingly, but say, yes, this is what I do, or this is what I think. It's the words we use. We don't want to use things like, maybe this is true. See, as soon as you put the maybe in, now you've weakened your presentation. You've got to stop that. And how can we do command signal? How can our voices change a room? Like I said, it's not louder. We don't get bolder and louder and force it. What we do, again, is use that leadership voice, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a discussion, whether it is a presentation. We need to speak softly, powerfully, not scream it, but boldly. And it's just like this. You're not going to say, well, I think maybe this would work for our group. You're going to say, I've been researching this. See, I'm not screaming it, I'm just talking. I've been researching this. And from all my research that I've been doing, I believe that our group could really benefit from this program. That's going to open up a powerful decision to be made by the group. But even in a regular conversation, you can do that. You don't have to overpower people. You just need to speak with authority and say, I was in that situation before, and these are the steps that I took to get myself out of the situation. Sharing those kind of things help people, particularly if you can relate to something that they're talking to you about. Say someone is sharing a problem with you, and it's a problem you can relate to in some way. And you want to be able to assure them, oh, I've been there, I've done that. You want them to feel like you're having this exchange, not like you're trying to tell them what to do, but you share yourself, you share your authenticity, you share your words with them. And people are looking for people who have been through things. Sometimes we hesitate using our situations like that because we don't want to appear like, well, one, we know it all, but also because we don't want to be that vulnerable. But when we can show a vulnerability, it actually becomes a very, very powerful thing. We're signaling people we're not afraid to tell you where it went wrong and what we did to correct it. And that is so important. We're not here to overpower people when we have strategic conversations anywhere. We're here to share authentically, strongly, boldly our experiences. Confidence and command. How do we command the room? How do we change that conversation? And maybe, like I said, just between two of you, or maybe you and a group of people at an organization, and maybe you in front of a board. How do we change the room? We change the room by changing our voice. And we change the room by showing up confident, at least the appearance of it. You will actually gain confidence by talking, sharing calmly with presence. Remember, we do that breathe in, 2, 3, 4, release 2, 3, 4. We by breathing exercises and things like that, we learn to control our body. We've talked about that in the past. Positioning ourselves with straightening our back. There's been a lot of things we've talked about over the past that can help us show up strategically in these rooms and in these conversations. And a good place to practice it is in your everyday conversations with people, with your spouse, with your family, with your children. It's a great place to work on confident presence, clarity. And we've also something we've talked about in the past that I'd bring up again. Clarity is particularly important to have that confidence and command, because sometimes we want to overspeak something because we're not confident in ourselves. And when we try to push our idea on people, either in that way or we go on and on and on trying to explain and justify why we're saying and why we're doing what we're doing, that can be very impactful to people listening to us. We need to speak clearly, calmly, and precisely, not over explain. And as women, I'll just be honest, I've been there and I still get there some days. We tend to over explain. So these are just some really simple tips. And I just want to say that once again, that I am so grateful for everyone across the world listening to what we're doing here on She Roars Boldly. I'll be putting more podcasts back out soon. Also, if you are interested, remember, if you are listening to this and you want to be a part of this movement, of women movement, and you want to be on the podcast, I really would love to hear from you. sheroars.live. sheroars.live. I would love to hear from you. And please share the podcast. Let's just keep this momentum going, this energy going, and let's continue to help each other roar boldly across the world. It is so important. So this is me encouraging you to have a powerful week with strategic conversations, with talking to your family, to your friends, to your board meetings, to your schools, wherever you talk, organizations, because you do have something to say. I want you to hear that from me. You have something to say. You have experience that you can share with someone. And this is your week to step up and share from inside yourself. If you got it good at a lower level, try it on a higher level this week. Let's continue to grow together, to speak together, and to empower the world together. This is She Roars Boldly, and I'm Dr. Debra. Join us next week for another amazing podcast, and keep the downloads going. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic